Welcome back, everyone, to the Daily Dollar Podcast. This is episode 10. I am your host, Cait McCready. And
Art Morrison III here.
I am here with Art Morrison III.
I cut you off?
No, I normally, you did it.
Okay.
You did good. But this is our first two-part episode.
Two-part episode.
That's how you say it.
In the bloopers, Cait said part two-er, and she made us start over, but
This is the first part two-er that we've ever had.
First part two-er. We could, trademark that.
Yeah, so I don't think it was too bad.
Yeah.
So we'll stick with that.
First part two-er, what is the title? So what was part one?
So part one, I wanted to talk about going bigger, and I wanted to talk about two specific deals, but we got all caught up on one specific deal, and that was kind of like where the fear comes in on going bigger.
Yeah, it was
right?
a deal we backed out of. We lost $15,000 if you guys didn't listen to the last episode, but that $15,000 was worth what we learned, worth overcoming the fear that we had of going bigger. And it's pretty weird but cool talking about this because this is literally earlier this year. So I don't even like exposing weaknesses, but the whole purpose of the podcast is to be transparent.
Yeah.
And transparently, it wasn't even that complicated of a deal or that difficult of a deal. It was a deal that I would home run any other time. I don't know what made this deal. I think, you know what it was? That deal we had, it was a bundle of 4 properties, but we also had like 3 or 4 more
other
under contract, and projects going at the same time. So I think I was holistically looking at it like, oh shoot, are we ready for this?
Yeah.
But yeah, that deal was huge rolling into this second
deal.
So
I wanted to allot the proper amount of time to this second deal because I think it shows perfectly how you go from fear, failure, learning, and now into the execution of what we had learned and the growth. Yeah. So this next deal, we just got our offer accepted. It's a deal in Hoboken. You want to tell them a little more about it?
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
no, so
you don't have to get too specific, but at least give the
there's a commercial at the bottom, and then there's like 2 apartments over top. It's an old building, but what we bought was not only the building and the land, but also approved plans by the city of Hoboken to build 4 townhomes and a commercial unit. So it'll be a commercial with an elevator, 4 townhomes, and then a rooftop that goes with the commercial. So it's like a really cool, sexy design on a very popular street in Hoboken, New Jersey. And we're gonna sell them all townhomes individually. Has a really good ROI, really good margins. And we won the offer. We overcame the fear of diving into it, and
So we won't get into like too specific numbers, but it's almost double the amount, I would say, of what we were paying for the last deal that we said we kind of...
Oh, yeah. So what's that? Is this going bigger or is this overcoming fear?
Well, this is both.
Part 2, going bigger.
Well, because we started the last one.
Fear, overcoming fear?
Yeah, because I started the last one thinking that we were going to get to both properties, but we only spoke about the one. Yeah,
so in last episode, we talked about an $830,000 deal that had me a little shook. But I don't even like saying that because I wasn't scared. You know what I mean? We weren't scared.
He's never scared,
guys. I just wasn't moving. No, it's not even that. I just wasn't moving with confidence because it was unfamiliar territory. We never bought a bundle of properties before. Plenty to put. So, but anyway, it was $830,000. Now this property we have under contract for $1.8 million.
Yeah.
And we look to make $5 million with like $3 million worth of work and other stuff into it. So it has good margin, decent margins. You're looking at, between $1 and $2 million of profit.
Yeah.
So I feel good about that, and I feel like we're moving through that real smooth and with confidence and with tact.
Right. So would you say that you took what you learned from that past deal or the last deal that we talked about on the last episode to apply it to this one?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if you just look at as little as that bundle of 4 properties was my first commercial experience.
Right.
We only dealt residential. We had almost 10 at the time residential properties, and then we have this bundle. It's our first commercial.
Yeah.
Right. So just knowing how to approach it.
We had never even written up a commercial contract before.
Or LOI, right? Letter of intent to buy. It was just a whole different transaction.
Yeah.
So now just even knowing how to enter into this one was huge.
Yeah.
So like I said, I just can't even regret the first one or any decision that was made because I think it led to this for a reason. This was a for sale by owner, so I had to come extremely correct.
Yeah.
and as the educated one, because if you guys know, when you do it for sale by owner, like there's no agent involved, you're selling it yourself. So we're literally speaking to someone who is the owner of the house, which means they are doing pretty well for themselves. They own a multi-million-dollar piece of property that's not operating right now. It's just sitting.
Yeah.
So to even approach the seller and
that's almost a little more
deal,
exciting, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
talking to sellers directly.
It was cool. It was like, it was just
because you really get a vibe for them. I know, because I personally am a realtor, so like I often talk to realtors, and they're like the gate between you and their client, and they're relaying things. You never really know
the situation. Then you got attorneys, like realtor. It's like the triangle offense of like realtor, owner, attorney, and you never really know what the real story is. Behind the house.
So for this deal, would you say, like, how quickly do you think you came up with a strategy, and do you think that's to be attributed to past mistakes, or?
One thing I did better with this property is we saw it, we went to see it, we stood out front of it, and we developed a bunch of strategies.
Right.
I got to give a shout out too to my buddy Kevin Tarka, who's not in real estate at all. He was just on a run and found this property, but he doesn't know anything from Adam, but his ignorance contributed to his fearlessness, and he was the one who really was pushing me to like get the property. I was like ready to be like, nah, it's not really, you know. But we engaged the guy, we spoke to him, we got more information, we realized it was actually a good deal. And one thing that I did differently on this one than I did on the last one was I immediately reached out to anyone who I thought could help. I immediately began to seek, whether you want to call it mentorship, partnership. If you go back to the mentorship episode, you know, like I put mentorship and partnership. Like I don't even use the word level, mentorship. I always. So I reached out to anyone who I knew had any type of experience in deals like this, or who would want to partner, who would want to link up. And honestly, the first and the few calls that I made ended up being a couple people who were going to be partners on this deal. And there's so much meat on the bone and so many margins. There's plenty to go around, and it gives me an opportunity to further learn. But now, instead of learning through failure, we can learn through success.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, how would you even go about looking for bigger deals? Because now we're talking about overcoming fear. We're talking about going bigger. Like, how does one go from buying little, maybe single families, like 2 families, 3 families? How do you even search for like something that's a knockdown rebuild? I know this one is obviously kind of an anomaly in a way that it was a for sale by owner, and like our ignorance is bliss good friend pushed us towards it. But how do you even go towards bigger deals?
It's intangible. Like it literally is not having fear. It literally is just deciding you want to do it, because the deals are the same. In real estate, the deals are the same. It's just that the only difference is the margins. It's all just numbers on a board. So you're either dealing with bigger numbers, more numbers. I mean, you guys all remember math class. It was like PEMDAS or algebra, where there was formulas. At the end of the day, it was all just a bunch of 2 + 2s and 4 × 4s. Like bundled up into this scary looking algebraic equation. But at the end of the day, based on, I don't know how they teach math these days, but you know, even if you think about PEMDAS, for example, it literally was teaching you, hey, this is how you break down these big formulas into just small increments of math problems, right? That's all commercial level or big real estate is. It's just like a bunch of small real estate bundled together, and you have to be, I mean, look, if you're good at evaluating small deals, you have the ability in you to evaluate big deals. And if you don't, someone else does, or it just takes practice or whatever. But there's so many hands in the pot. You're not gonna make a mistake like between your attorney, like the only mistake you can make is like a decision making mistake of like how much you pay for it or whatever. What work you do to it.
But
those are the same mistakes that you can make in residential income. So what I'm saying is that the hardest part about getting into larger real estate or bigger real estate, quote, so to speak, is just overcoming that initial fear, maintaining confidence, and knowing a good deal versus a bad deal. Not big deal versus small deal, not sexy deal versus not sexy. Meaning, like, we call it sexy deals, like this one's in Hoboken, that's a sexy deal. The same exact deal if it was in a small kind of run downtown wouldn't be as sexy, but it doesn't matter, right? It's either a good deal or a bad deal, and the way we determine a good deal or a bad deal is strictly numbers.
Yeah, percentages, margins.
Like this deal right here, buy at 1.8, put 1.5 of work into it, sell at 5 million.
Easy.
It's the same exact thing as buy for 250, put 100 worth of work, sell for 500.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing. It's just way bigger margins for, honestly, on the developer side, like low key the same amount of work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're the contractors. It's not, you know, it's whatever. You get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your, like, what would you say? Give me a tip for not getting stuck on, you know.
My tip for doing big deals, small deals, any deal that's bigger than the deals that you're doing right now, link up. Don't go alone. If there's listen, I'm a grown man. I'm 6'7". I'm 215 pounds. I'm not like a wuss.
Yeah.
But I'm way more comfortable going in a dark cave or a basement or something that is supposed to be scary with two of my guys with me.
Right.
I'm even more confident with you with me.
Yeah.
Just another person. Somebody to shine the flashlight so my hands can be free and protect us from danger, right? Anything.
Right.
So fear is really the only thing that will get in the way from you going into something that you don't know, right? Like the unknown is fearless. So the way to make the unknown is scary. So the way to mitigate that is just don't go alone.
Yeah.
Stop trying to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
Partner up with somebody, link up with somebody, let somebody in on the deal. Listen, losing a big deal and a lot of money is way worse than giving up 10, 15, 25, 50% of profits or equity in a deal because you wanted to bring a partner in. Even if you felt like skill-wise you didn't need that partner.
Yeah.
Right? The way that really, like, I have two partners who have openly said to me, hey man, I came to you because I know what I can do. I know my ability. I know what I want to do. I have the money. My credit's good. I just needed somebody to do it with.
Right.
And I'm not that kind of person personally. I feel like I could do anything alone. So this is like the pot calling the kettle black.
This is after our Further Together episode.
Yeah, I mean, but, right?
Yeah.
Our business wasn't formed together. Like I formed it for me, and then we linked up. So I had the wrong idea. So this is me learning from mistakes and just learning from experience. Just don't try to do it alone. You go together, you're gonna move with way more confidence. And I said in the last episode, or maybe it was earlier this episode, like, okay, I know 2 times as much as I did 6 months ago. Well, the other reason why that is because I've done business with more people. I've let more people in my business. So I've been able to learn from them, just learn from the experience of getting in more deals, because more deals come when you broaden and expand your network, right? So my point is, if you want to get over that hump of overthinking, or you want to overcome that fear of, even if it's not fear, even if it's just being stuck, like you said, link up, partner with somebody, makes it way easier, way more confident. You can talk each other off the ledge.
Yeah, I think it's similar to what we tell people who like first want to jump into real estate. We say, just talk about real estate, tell everyone you're in real estate, right?
Yeah.
So like this is just almost like the next step from that is just tell people what you want. Tell people like in your circle,
or
your
just
network.
don't do it alone, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you want to get into real estate, you gotta, we simplify and say tell people you're in real estate and talk about real estate, but really it's like invite people in on what it is that you're thinking about, talking about, and wanting to do. Plain and simple. Like if I want to travel, if I want to go on a trip right now, what's the fastest way for me to go on a trip? Tell my friends or tell my family like I want to go on a trip, or invite 10 people. Make it a thing. Make a group chat. Hey everyone, I want to go to wherever the heck. Who wants to come? Now I'm locked in. Now I have to do it. It's like going to the gym with a gym partner. It's like, yo, let's go to the gym every morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, now I can't be the one who's not going to go to the gym at 7 a.m. So now y'all both thinking the same thing. Like, yo, I got to go to the gym. I don't want to disappoint Art. I got to go to the gym. I don't want to disappoint Cait. And now y'all in the gym at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? You got the result that you needed. Same thing for getting into real estate or going bigger in real estate from what I've learned.
Nice. Anything else on going bigger? I think that's
it. I just want to go on record and say that you did a really good job planning and hosting this episode. You had questions lined up. It was like you were interviewing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's our first episode like that.
That's a nice
I
little
gotta
thing.
set something up and interview you.
Okay.
What's it like being a sexy hot mama in real estate?
I thought we were keeping this PG.
Sexy is not that's.
Well, I'm
I
sure.
call a building sexy. I can call you a sexy hot mama.
Yeah. Children probably aren't listening to this anyways.
Children logged off 2 minutes into this episode. The minute they started hearing that, what was I talking about? Algebra? It was over.
Something about math. But thank you guys for listening. This was episode 10 of the Daily Dollar. We talked about, this is our first part tour.
Two-part episode.
Two-part episode. We
Hope
talked
you guys
about,
enjoyed. Very valuable.
yeah, going bigger.
If I do say so myself.
Being fearless.
Go bigger. Be fearless. I'm Art Winston III.
I'm Cait McCready.
Spotify.
Spotify. Apple
Music.
Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
You did what I did.
Oh, shoot.
Are we on YouTube?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
On YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Pod, everywhere you listen to podcasts. Like, share, subscribe, and share some more. Tell family and friends because we're on here every day talking real estate. Let's get it.
Yep. All right. Thanks.
Peace.
See ya.